All right, follow through time. I am Pastor Fred, and we are listening to God each and every day and living for Him. That's what this follow through thing is all about. So share this with somebody. That would be awesome. Also hit that subscribe button. Now, this is going to be out there on YouTube the day after Mother's Day. An awesome day, an incredible day. And when you think of your mom, when you think of family, love is probably the word that comes to mind, right? Boom, jumps right out at you. And when you look in the Bible, like one of the guys, the writers, is John, who uses that word love all the time. So all week, kind of as a tribute to moms, a tribute to the love that God gives us in Jesus, and that moms, I think, I believe, I hope, it's the basis for their love for us as their kids. So, very cool. 1 John, we're going to be in chapter 5. We're just going to take a verse each day. Today we're in, you guessed it, you're so smart, verse 1. And it says that everyone who believes that Jesus is the Christ has been born of God. And everyone who loves the Father loves whoever has been born of Him. Okay, now, a lot of family language there. Right? We got father, we got born, right? So you're born into a family. We're born into God's family, born again, as John says in his gospel. We are born from above. He gives us life in Jesus. We are forgiven. That's the whole point. And if you go to verse 4, and that's my assignment for you today, read chapter 4 of 1 John, which is what comes before this, because he's wrestling with this idea that someone would say, hey, I love God, I'm a believer, I follow Him, but I hate that dude, right? I hate this guy, that other guy at church, I hate that person, and he's like, how can you love God but then hate your brother? Especially your brother, and he's kind of talking about a fellow believer, like the guy that sits across the, 2 pews down and to the right. So he ends chapter 4, and I'll give you to this. He says, this commandment we have from Him, whoever loves God must also love his brother. And so he moves into verse 1 kind of as a reminder, so that, okay, it's not just, it's really important to believe that Jesus is the Christ, but you got to realize that means that you've been born of God, that you are different now. Like He's brought real love to your life, forgiveness to you, who doesn't deserve it, right? I don't deserve it. So He's given me His love. He gives me this power to forgive. We pray it in the Lord's Prayer, right? Lord, forgive me of my sins or my trespasses as I have, right? Forgive me as I have forgiven others. I'm saying, God, I want you to use the same standard that I use on me, that I use on others. There's just this vital connection between being forgiven and forgiving, being loved and loving others. It's never easy. It can be very difficult. But he says, everyone who loves the Father loves whoever has been born of Him. So we don't get to pick and choose who we're going to love and who we're not going to love, who's worthy and who's not worthy, because let's face it, there's a level playing field. None of us are worth it. None of us are deserving of it, but He loves us and has given us that truth and that love each and every day. And what a difference it makes when we love the people around us. I know it's tough. We often fight, right? In light of Mother's Day, right? As we looked at it yesterday, right? Sometimes the kids don't always get along. Sometimes mom doesn't get along with the kids. Sometimes dad doesn't get along. There's all this stuff. And God's going, look, love is what you're just supposed to be about. And not the feeling of love, but the powerful, forgiving type of love, sacrificial kind of love. That's what makes a difference. And that's who you are today. Right? That's your hope in every relationship. Okay, so let's bring that truth to even those difficult relationships that we have, right? And see what God is going to do. Okay? See you next time for another follow through.